The science fiction writer Douglas Adams had a great idea for how to make things completely invisible. You generate a someone else's problem field around it. That way, every time someone looks at the thing, whatever it is, they can't see it because it's someone else's problem. And I think that this is what we do when we think about the climate and ecological crises that are unfolding around us. These are huge problems. They are also conveniently invisible. I'm not just talking about the fact that we can't see the carbon dioxide in the air or that species go extinct before they're even named by science. No, it goes deeper than that. I'm talking about the fact that it's always someone else's problem. China needs to cut down their emissions. Brazil needs to cut down fewer trees, even when the realities of the climate crisis crash headlong into our world. Unless we are directly affected, it is always someone else's problem. Wildfires in California, their problem. Heat waves in Australia, their problem. 90% of an entire city destroyed by floods in Mozambique. Well, that's in Africa. Africa always has problems. We think that it is someone else's problem because the system we live in ignores the annihilation of the world around us. When heat waves in Australia were so bad that desiccated bats were falling from the trees like Halloween rain, most of the media was posting pictures of bikini-clad blondes sunbathing on beaches. We think it is someone else's problem because the system that we live in tells us that people over there are not like people over here and that they need to deal with their problems on their own. We think that it is someone else's problem because the system that we live in tells us that we will be okay, that if we work hard and play by the rules, the system will take care of us, that if we care about the world around us, we should become climate scientists or ecologists and solve the crises. I tried to make a difference by playing by the rules. I studied hard. I did a PhD in ecology. I traveled around the world to study animals and write scientific papers about how we should conserve them. But since I was born, thousands of species have gone extinct. More and more of the rainforest is being cut down, and the oceans are on the way to being filled with more plastic than fish. Scientists have offered solutions, but they couldn't compete with profit. When I was a child, I was told not to worry about global warming because the grown-ups would fix it. Since I was born, annual emissions have gone up by 60%. Scientists have developed ways to wean us from our addictions to dirty energy. But the powerful corporate lobbies have protected their fossil fuel profits time after time after time after time. The system is destroying the world around us and destroying our very future. And yet still they tell us, don't worry, it's under control. Play by the rules and the system will look after you.
Bullshit!
Bullshit!
Well, I've stopped thinking that playing by the rules works. Last year, I joined Extinction Rebellion in breaking the law in London to draw attention to these crises. We stopped acting like the destruction of the world around us was someone else's problem and took to the streets to shout that this is not okay. We were finally expressing the reality that we face. And I'm not going to lie, it's not comfortable. It's painful to step out of the comfortable fiction that we all inhabit and live up to the harsh truths. The truth that we cannot carry on living our lives as normal if we want to have lives worth living in the future. The truth that our governments value corporate profits over our very existence. The truth that most of us refuse to realize how bad things will get if we don't act now. And expressing these truths was scary but liberating. Because once you accept the truth, it sets you free. When you realize that the rules of the system are killing us, you can step outside those rules. When you emotionally accept the truths of the climate and ecological crises, you cannot carry on with life as normal. So you're free to break a couple of rules. Go on strike, block a bridge, seize the moment and be a part of history. because you have within yourself the power and the courage to demand change. The system we live in wants us to think that we are all alone, that we are not people or communities, we are consumers, that we have to be more successful than our peers, have more money, a better house and car, and more glamorous holidays. By keeping us separate, by keeping us in competition, the system keeps us weak and makes us depressed and sells us more stuff. But trust me, I'm a biologist. Humans are not just a competitive species. Where people start to realise that they are strong and united and free. Points where people start to break the rules of a system that no longer works to keep them safe. Points where people look inside themselves and realise what they will do to defend life itself. In over 120 countries, a ripple can become a flood. And we have seen the global conversation on climate action grow in volume and in seriousness as the number of people in the streets has grown. So we're here today because the climate and ecological crises are not someone else's problems. They are our problems. And we stand with people past and present who have fought and are fighting for a better world, because we can see through the lies that we are told. We know that we are free, we are many, and we are united, and that together we can create an unstoppable wave of power and courage that can change the world.